So, welcome to today's podcast, Revival. We've got an amazing special guest today. So, welcome, Paul.
Thank you for having me, mate.
You know, just before we start off, obviously, Erin doesn't know too much about you, and we tend not to do any research before we bring people in. So, Erin done a little bit this morning.
I've done a little bit of cheeky research. I had to do a little bit of something, but yeah. Paul, I was just having a little look on your Instagram and I seen, you know, what you're involved in and the men's groups, and it's just so inspiring. So I'm really excited to get to know you a little bit more today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So for me then, because I've done a little tiny bit of research, but I don't know too much about you.
Yeah.
How did you sort of get into the world of what you're doing?
So I'd say like 7-8 years ago, I was just in a normal job, you'd say, like, I was a project manager. You know, I had normal family, if you like.
Yeah.
2 kids, lovely partner. Had money in the bank, had a house, 2 cars. You know, the things that we're starving for.
Yeah. On the
what you would say is successful.
Yeah.
You know, we had savings. You know, we were buying our own house and stuff like that. But inside, something was wrong.
Yeah.
I felt really anxious. Didn't feel right. I was going to the gym. I was eating right. I was doing all these things that he said was meant to make me feel good, and I felt like there was something majorly fucking wrong.
Really?
Yeah. So I ended up going to the doctors, and he gave me some anti-anxiety medication. And my dad suffered with mental illness when I was growing up, so I was half thinking like, oh, I don't want to end up like the way my dad was. Yeah. Like I had that hereditary story in my head.
Yeah.
And I basically come off them after a couple of months. And started looking at myself. I think I read like a couple of books. For the first book for most people was like The Secret. So I read The Secret in about like 2016, 17. And that sort of started this, like, things started to click a little bit. And like I thought there's more to what this is telling me. So I started investing in myself, my own self-development, working with, you know, different doctors, scientists, specialists, you know, looking at trauma, individual, ancestral, collective trauma, looking at like my past, my childhood, my dad's past, my mum, looking at my vision for the future, understanding men and masculinity and the masculine psyche, as we said before the podcast. It's different from a woman's psyche, how we're wired. And you know, going on men's retreats, working with mystics, going to India, like doing all these different things, all just adding more tools to sort of define a blueprint and a map for how we show up in the world as men, and how any man, if they fit their life into this blueprint, can start to take the steps to change their life.
God, that's amazing, isn't it? So inspiring. I think as well, like, we're just so used to being on the hamster wheel and knowing that we don't feel 100% internally, but just thinking we've got to crack on anyway.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've acknowledged that and then done something about it's just amazing, because I think as well, like, we're so accustomed to just going to the doctors and getting tablets, and they sort of numb you, I think, don't they?
Yeah.
It stops that inner feeling. It doesn't stop it. It just suppresses it.
Yeah.
Just puts a little cloud above it, so it's not coming through as much. And, you know, I've been through it. You've probably been through it. But that voice gets louder. It gets louder,
and then you can't ignore it.
And you try and get back on. You're trying to like get back on that hamster wheel, thinking, no, I'm all right. It's the food I'm eating. I'm not saying it. I'm not doing this. And actually, it was never none of that stuff. It was just that little boy inside of you, the little girl, or it was just, you just knew there was something more to this.
Yeah. It's like I was sort of backed up. I felt like internally, where there was nothing externally I could turn to. Like the only person that was causing this issue, it was coming from inside of me.
Yeah.
So until I started to like delve deeper into who I am as a man, what do I want as a man, what's happened in my life, like incorporating your past, present and future, that's when things began to shift for me.
So do you think on that, something that just come up for me is, do you think that was a time potentially where you were starting to hold yourself? Do you know what I mean? Where we're always looking for somebody else, especially early on. We're looking for someone else to fix us, someone else to hold us, love us. When actually, is that the start of you inside of you saying, you know, I've got me. This is the start. And you know, almost like getting that protectiveness to say, I've got you.
Yeah.
Someone else is not going to fix you. I'm going to fix you.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
That's what you did, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like no one... I got to a point where it's like no one's going to save you.
Yeah.
No one can save you. No one can do the work for you. Like, I can't help any man walk the path,
No.
but I can walk the path with you and show you the way and show you the way that's worked for me.
Yeah.
And it's worked for, you know, hundreds of other men.
Yeah.
But I think a big realization for me is, and you know, I think you'll agree, is any mental health condition or anything that's going on internally is an effect. It's not causal. So understanding like anxiety, anytime you're feeling a certain way, something's causing that effect. And when you get to the cause, that's where you stop that effect happening and you begin to influence your own life.
Yeah. Because, you know, it's label. A big problem in society, as soon as you get like a label, oh yeah, I've got this condition, it just runs away with you then as well. Do you know what I mean? You just become part of that, you know, anxiety, depression, whatever it may be. It becomes a label, and then, you know, we wear the label.
Then,
it's almost like, you know, when you used to do swimming in school and you get a badge, it's like, this is my badge, here I go. This is why I'm like this, and this is why I show up in that way. Because I know for me earlier on, when you go through your life in this like protective state and you're on this wheel, then when you come off it, it's hard to come off it, and then you're like, whoa, what's all this? Then you get the labels of, oh, because of my childhood, that's why I show up. And then it becomes like, well, that's why I'm like that. I'm like this because of this. And then it becomes like the victim part of it comes in.
The victim mentality. And it's like how many people, like I read a worrying statistic a couple of weeks ago about ADHD. Like 95% of people are misdiagnosed because it's ADHD-like symptoms, not ADHD, but they're given medication.
The label.
No one's asking the question as to where is ADHD coming from? Where is anxiety coming from? What's creating it? And as you know, if you've been through difficult experiences in your life, which most people in this city have, then that's going to shut down the prefrontal cortex part of your brain, which means you're going to be living out of your survival centres, which means you haven't got logic. You haven't got logic. You're going to be driven from fear. You're going to be driven from lack and scarcity. You're not going to be able to focus. At the same time, you know, the amount of kids that are given ADHD medication in schools or said by teachers that they've got ADHD. If we're sitting in a maths class, how many of us had ADHD in maths?
No.
If not ADHD, I don't give a shit what you're telling me.
I'm not interested in the subject, so I can't sit still.
So for me, it's definitely I relate to that, because for me in school, it's like, show me what to do physically, I can do it. Sit me in a class, it ain't going in. I can't get it. I'm switched off. So it's like that. So if I was in school now, I probably wouldn't be in class. Do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't for me. But if I done PE, I was like, I was flying. You enjoyed doing it. It's like this. The other thing with schools as well is you're getting taught in a way from a circle of like, this is how, but individual. Where's the individual in that? I know. Like, if someone's good at maths, why aren't they doing eight lessons a week rather than 2? Why is everyone doing 2? Rather than, if someone's really good at maths, they should be doing 8 to 10. Why are they doing RE? Do you know what I mean? Or why are they doing science if that's not for them? Like, why aren't we pushing people into what is for them? Because everyone's got a different place in the world and a different quality and a different, like, you know, we're all wired different, and that's why the world works. So why aren't we doing that?
I think that's, you know, I think we spoke a little bit about, before we come on, about like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but it is a system. It's a system that's made to try and fit kids into a system to go to work, to fit into the mundane way of living. That's actually crucifying a lot of kids, and we can't put our kids, or we can't take our kids, out of the school environment sometimes. And if you look at where young, you know, men have come from in general, or men and then young men, like, I don't know, say 200, 300, 400 years ago, we were meant to be out at war, we were fighting. And now sat behind a desk all day. Kids are told not to move. And then when we leave school, men are stuck behind desks, or we're glued to a phone, we're not moving our body, we're not doing things in the same way we used to do. So we're sort of living out of our nature as men, which is driving a lot of the problems that we see with masculinity.
I mean, one of the things for me with yourself, like, that I really honour and respect is, like, obviously we went to Glastonbury and we done a course for 7 months together. And that was, like, for me, that was my first step into this world. You know, and I look back at that week we spent in that apartment, and it, like, when you look back, that's like one of the moments, like, where you think, wow, that was a special time. Just like going with the flow of life as well. For that was the first time for me where I'd be like, if someone said, right, you're gonna go and stay in an apartment, someone you don't know. Obviously, we're from the same city and stuff, but we didn't know each other. The first time we met, it was you come to my house as we were driving down to Glastonbury. But it's like, what come from that was like amazing, do you know what I mean? But that fear, I would never have done that from where I was in my life. I would have never have done that, but something told me to go with that. And the thing I honour mostly about you is, like, as I think I said this last week to you, that you've actually, everything you've said you were going to do, you've done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's something that, like you even said it about me, is like something I really, like, the gut, the feelings are all there, but sometimes I'm always pulling back. Where for you, the honorary for me is like, as your friend, is like, you've done it.
Yeah.
You've said that, you know, you've been in the corporate world.
Yeah.
You've had the job, you've moved out of it, you've learnt more, you're always learning, you're always thriving, you're always pushing. And it, you know, for me as like a brother, that's like so respectful for that, because you know, you are there willing to help. And it's probably why I was nervous at the start.
Yeah, probably.
Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a big thing for me, is like the work you're doing is really good. And you know, if any men are feeling like a little bit underwhelmed at the moment, and them gut feelings are there, and they think there's more to this, then obviously get in contact with Paul, because the work he does is really good.
Yeah, I remember like before I started this work, when I was thinking about starting it in like 2020, started 2020, say, and like someone said, no one's ever done it in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like, it won't work. Like, men will not sit in circle, men will not do this type of stuff. And I was like, they will.
I love that.
I know, because of what's worked for me, they absolutely will. So that sort of lit the fire even more.
Yeah.
And I think we
prove them wrong
to
as
prove
well.
people wrong, and to have to be like, well, I am different. Like, 'cause I will make it work, and I will find a way to sort of have the mentality to get through to where you want to get to. And I think it's sort of a dying mentality sometimes with men that we're seeing, but I do think it's like bred into a lot of men from Liverpool to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is that, like, I think it comes from, sometimes a life of pain. It's like, I know, especially for me, it was like, I'm going to show yous. I'm going to show yous. Watch this. Watch me do this. And then when I got to where I thought, wait, this is going to be it. This is everything, you know, everything you dream about. I actually remember sitting there thinking, there's no one here.
Yeah.
Oh.
No one home.
Yeah.
And then that's the moment I thought, shit, I've got to go back.
Yeah.
I've got to go back and within.
Inside.
Because the answers, they're not externally, they're not material. They're all in here.
I think we're sold a dream, aren't we?
Yeah,
sold a dream.
It's amazing to have a nice house. It's nice to have a nice house, a nice car, but it's not going to, it's all temporary. It's not going to internally make you feel any better. It's all external.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's something I learned, and that's something that's the type of man usually I work with.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, when I started, it's like you're trying to help everyone.
Yeah.
And you can't help everyone, and also not everyone wants to be helped. But
That's
now it's
it.
like I want to help men who have been in a similar path to me, who are working, men who are, you know, the mental health statistics in men who are working towards men who aren't working. Like, you would think the ones who are getting all the support are the men who aren't working, which they are. The men who are working are the ones who are taking their own life, the ones who are struggling, the ones who relationships are breaking down, the ones who've got more problems with addiction, the ones who've got, you know, more mental health problems. So I want to help the working man, but you know, a man who's ready. I do sort of work with men. They have to meet a certain criteria.
What is the criteria that they've got to meet then?
There's got to be an absolute willingness to do what it takes, like to go all in, I would say. And sometimes people say, oh, don't, you know, I'm either all in
They
or
want
I'm
to
all
dip
out.
the toe, but they're not fully sure.
Yeah, and they can't come into a sort of environment with me and the men that are in there, because they'll fall flat on the face, or it'll be too much for them to take in. The demand that I ask of men is a lot, so you need to be willing to do, you know, certain things. You might have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. You might have to do certain breathing practices. I might ask you to ask deeper questions of yourself. It's not surface level, if you like, to get results and real transformation.
Healing, isn't it?
It's like we cover everything from trauma to diet to sleep to breathing to you know, spirituality, to yoga, to kundalini, to somatics. Like, there's lots of different dynamics and moving parts on this whole journey that we're all on. There's no one thing for me that fits everything. Like, not meditation. Like, it's incorporating a complete system for people. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I try to do. And that means that they've got to be willing, number one, to listen, but they've got to be willing to do what it takes. And if they've got that sort of mentality to match where I'm at and where my hunger was at, then absolutely I can help you. And I think it comes from, like, I spent a bit of time when I was younger, I boxed. But then when I was 24, I went in the parachute regiment, like the reserve regiment, which is, for me, the elite of the army, bar the SAS. And their mentality is like, only like, say, 30% of people who go to training with the paras pass out. And I want to work with men who are in that 30%, not the other 60% who are like, you're always going to be that 60%. You've got to do what it takes, and something's got to shift mentally in order to make this happen. Otherwise, it'll just be like another little fad for them, and pointless. So, you know, they've got to want to attain to a level of excellence, I suppose, and a level of trying to live an extraordinary life, which means finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
And it's the basics, isn't it? If you like fundamentally, we want to do all these great things, but you're not going to do them great things. People want to get to A to D without going through B and C.
Yeah.
But you have to do the basics consistently before you see the light, or you get to the result that you want. But you're not going to get that unless you do the basics and you hold yourself accountable constantly.
And how many people, like, I mean, in this city, take plant medicine, say, or mushrooms, but they haven't done any internal work, or they're smoking weed all the time, or they're doing whatever ceremonies, which I'm not denying, like the power of these potent medicines that are massively helpful, but they're sitting on fucking County Road, doing fucking 5 grams of mushrooms, and then going back to sit with the kids the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without any
integration.
it's not.
But
like,
what do you think there's any negative effects from doing that? So say someone wanted to take mushrooms, felt this amazing high, and then went back to their normal lives. Is that hindering them in any way, do you think?
I think it can do, yeah. And I only speak from my experience. In like 2019, I done a DMT experience. Like I smoked DMT, but it was 2 weeks after my dad died.
Wow.
And it ripped me from my body.
Did it?
Like I was having hallucination perception. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking I was dropping into a dark hole.
Yeah.
All before I'd done any trauma work. Like I was doing that. And like David said, it's like you're trying to go from A to Z.
Yeah.
Like,
you're trying to feel something, but then you haven't done any, and
you haven't done anything to get there, and it's a journey, and there's no what I've learned. There's no arrival.
There's no
arrival. There's nowhere to get to. You're just unfolding and
Mm.
growing and expanding every single step of the way in your own life. And I think when you are sometimes taking some of these substances or medicines, like we are trying to get something outside of us again to correct something internally. Not that they can't help.
Yeah.
But I think do a lot of other work before you dive in straight in to fix yourself, because be very wary. They can open you up to different realms, different realities, darker energies, that can expose you to a lot of pain.
Yeah.
They're scary. They are, like, they are to be respected.
And that's it. Yeah, that's, it's a messy world that you're unfolding in yourself, that you're unraveling sometimes. Like I always, when someone hasn't done breath work before, I'll always say to them, it's like, if you get a full bottle of Coke and it's never been opened before, you shake it and then you open it. That's almost like what your body's doing once you drop in with your breath work, and it allows the emotion or fear or whatever it is trapped inside your body. I feel like breath work allows you just to open a little bit.
A little
bit each time. Sometimes it can be a big one, but I feel like the plant medicine, or what you've just been saying, is almost like on certain people, you can shake that bottle, they've never done no work, and it's like, take that lid off and you've got no control over that.
And I think there's like an ignorance sometimes with people, and maybe an arrogance as well. Some people like, it's only breathing, or it's only this, and it's like 90% of people aren't functionally breathing correct.
No,
the normal everyday breathing.
Anyway,
like we could do tests on you, simple tests, very simple, like today.
And it's like dead shallow or something.
Yeah, it's really shallow breathing, or your chest breathing. Like if you can think of your lungs, like your lungs are a muscle, if you like, and if you're not using your full lung volume capacity, why would that send a signal up to your brain to have your alarm bells going, because you're not taking enough breath in? You've got no CO2 tolerance in your system, which that then affects the molecule called ATP, which is the energy molecule, which means that's going to affect how you're sleeping, it's going to affect how you're feeling. This is all without ever having to do trauma work, by the way.
It's just normal, And when you think your body's designed to heal itself, but if you're not breathing properly, you're not using your body.
Yeah, it's not functioning properly.
Yeah, so like, best sometimes, like if you're in a car and your car's only using half of its engine, it's going to break.
It's going to burn out.
And what does your breath directly affect? Your brainwaves.
Yeah.
So your breath, if you change how you're breathing, now if everyone started taking slower breaths, you'd go into a different brainwave frequency. Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
So it's some simple things. Like my cousin laughed at me a couple of years ago. He was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Putting videos on, telling people how to breathe. Why don't we know how to breathe? We breathed all our life." But
should say to them, do the video.
Yeah, but it's unconscious breathing, isn't it? It's just day-to-day breathing.
Exactly.
It's not conscious breathing.
I'm like just checking now if I'm breathing properly. Am I breathing? But it's mad though, isn't it? Because when you're nervous and you'll take a few deep breaths, you instantly feel better, don't you?
So a mad one I always use, I always remember as a kid, if something happened with one of your family and people went to A&E, they'd be like, "Oh, give us a ciggy, I need to calm down."
Yeah.
But it's actually, I thought about this, it's actually not the ciggy that calms them down, it's that first
Yeah, the deep breath.
It's the deep breath when you first light that ciggy outside there, and
Feel better now.
it's just a breath.
And,
the concentration.
Your heart rate as well,
it's
doesn't
the
it?
first time during all that you've took a conscious breath, but you haven't just... It's that.
Yeah. And it's just activating...
It's just
parasympathetic system, isn't it? To slow your system
down.
But actually, when we were talking about psychedelics, there's been studies done on conscious connected breathwork on what parts of the brain actually activate when you're doing one of the breathing practices that me and David both are trained in. And it activates the same regions of the brain as a mushroom experience.
Well, that's mad, because when I do breathwork, I feel like trippy.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm spinning around.
But it's a lot safer, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
You come back a little bit ungrounded.
I haven't done weird things, when I've done that breathwork.
Yeah.
So why is it that breathwork releases so much for you? Like, what actually happens?
During a conscious connected breathwork?
Yeah, conscious connected.
Because it's all different breathwork.
Sorry,
Yeah, I think for me, it taps into, again, it sort of bypasses like the logical part of the brain. It taps into the limbic system part of your brain, which is where our emotional centers and where our memories can be held. And then it also activates the nervous system in a certain way that then stimulates it to maybe create some sort of sensations or tremoring or traumas or pains that are actually living in the body, because it doesn't just live in the mind.
Yeah.
And this again was where like a lot of therapies, for me, have got the place, talk therapies. But if you're not including the mind, the body, and the soul in all of what you're doing, you're pissing.
You're missing.
You're pissing up the ball. You're missing something.
Yeah.
You've got to incorporate a holistic approach into all of this.
Well, I think I liked what you said before. It's like, it's not one thing. It's like when you go to work, you need a bag of tools. It's the same on the journey of trying to find yourself or heal yourself or anything. You need the bag of tools to be able to, like, breathwork's not going to... It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's one tool in your tool bag. You need everything else. You can do. I've done it, mate. You've done it when we were in Glastonbury. We were just breathing. But I'd have just kept getting that. If I was still, if I carried on breathing from that day till now, I'd still have the same reactions.
Yeah.
Because it was just like almost like a vicious circle of like everything's coming up, but I didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Do you
So
know what I mean?
what other tools do you need then?
Well, I think you can get lost to like all of these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there's the big Wim Hof movement in ways, and there's been studies done on if you're doing cold water over a prolonged period of time, it actually shuts down your felt experience and you dissociate from your body. Like that's if someone's doing cold water all the time.
Yeah.
If you're doing breath work constantly all the time, where's that coming from? Like, are you having to do it to release something? Are you becoming addicted to doing it to a certain state, to getting a dopamine hit?
Yeah.
I think it's understanding what tools you need and when. Certain breathing practices are really good of a morning. Certain breathing practices are really good of a night. But it comes down to every person understanding their own system. Like sometimes a yoga practice is good. Sometimes having a good shake of the body is good.
Yeah.
I tell this story sometimes to the men I work with. Like, I remember, it probably was about 18 months ago, 2 years. I was sitting down upstairs trying to meditate, and we'd had like a bed for a while. And I don't know if you'll probably resonate with this, Dave, but I don't know if you will with your fella.
Where's this, Gavin?
Erin doesn't sleep in a bed.
So I'm meditating, sitting down at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, just waiting.
On the bed?
No, looking at the bed. looking at the bed, quite like stressed.
Okay.
And I could feel like this stress building up, and I was trying to slow my breathing and trying to like down regulate and trying to like control my emotions. But we'd had this bed that Carly had told me, like, you need to get rid of this bed because there was something broke on the bed.
Oh yeah, like one of the slats underneath
One of the
or
slats,
something.
something was broken. She was like, we need to get rid of that
If
bed.
anyone's watching and they haven't got a broken slat, you haven't lived. Everyone's got a broken slat.
Yeah, it happens at one point in their life.
Yeah.
So I'm not advising people to do this what I did. But basically, because the bed was broke and I was really in an infuriating like mood, like I had this anger and surge of emotion. I was trying to keep in the body and down regulate and self-regulate and stay calm. I just let out this, like, I got the fucking mattress off the bed. I got a metal bat next to my bed with slugger on it. I fucking battered the bed, a wooden bed, smashed it in half, like, all into little pieces, took it outside and threw it outside the house, ready for the skip man to come and get it. and it felt so powerful.
Yeah.
Felt like Maximus of Gladiator.
Yeah.
Like, there he is, that warrior energy.
Warrior, yeah.
Because as men, even on this self-development path, men are trying to be like nice and calm and people
But you've
pleasers
still got
and,
them emotions.
yeah, and happy. They say happy wife, happy life, and it's like that's not right. Like my missus wants a man who's a leader. She wants a man who brings an element of danger to himself. A man who brings presence. A man who can protect. So stop being like this nice guy and always calm and always meditating. Like you need these anger and boundaries and assertiveness
and
as a man.
especially from the life that most men in Liverpool will come from, or some point they'll have been around drugs or grew up through trauma or through praying. So, you know, a lot of that you're growing up with this, trying to put this like warriors on you and not on hurt you, and you're fighting and you're angry, and at the, you know, road rage is everyone's trying to kill each other because it's all from a protection point of view. Yeah. And then when you go into this work, like you said, then it's like, right, I've got to stop all that.
Try and change all that.
It's like two whales colliding in your own body.
Yeah.
From
and
everything
it's
that you've always
conflicting.
known. Yeah.
And then you do snap sometimes, and then you go home going, oh, that's the old me. I'm not that person no more. But it's like, it's like, brings me on to that point is like what you said the other day. When does surrender meet action? Because that's like, when do you surrender? Like, for me, it's like surrender to everything, but when's the call for action?
Yeah.
When's that meeting point?
I think in the Tao Te Ching, they say something called effortless action, which means take action without attachment. Yeah. It's not about sitting there doing nothing and surrendering. Like, surrender, but take action while surrendering to what? To any rewards. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Just do your duties, do your work, and the rewards will come as a part of it. But detach from, and that's something we were learning in India. It's like detach from any outcome, because that's how we're creating our own suffering. Yeah. And you are the root, and we are the root of our own suffering. And in terms of like when we're looking at anger, what came up for me then was like, when I was a kid, if you like, when I was angry, I just got sent to my room. Yeah. Get to your room, like anger's not welcome around here. And then what happens with, you're not allowed to be angry. So most men, and probably
and
women as well.
And I think that makes you angrier though, doesn't it?
Well, it's suppressing that anger then. Or like, I've learned that when I'm angry, I need to be alone. Yeah. Or when I'm angry, I'm not lovable when I'm angry. And that then sends a child the signal that he's not allowed to be angry. So then when I come out of the room, when I've come out of my anger, I then suppress my authenticity. And if I'm suppressing my authenticity, I'm never being myself. If I'm never being myself, why would I be full of anxiety? Of course I'm going to be full of anxiety, because I don't know who I am. I'm pretending to be someone I'm not to fit into a world that doesn't love me.
So. Oh, you're amazing. You are. Can you be here every day? Love you.
I'm being kicked out.
Paul and Erin's podcast now. Yes. But it's so true though, and it's so powerful listening to you say that, because it's like, why would you be happy when you're not living authentically, are you?
And that's about what we've got to help each other to do, help men and women to do in relationship. I mean, I'm sure you'll both agree how much do we try to change our partners in relationship and say, you make me angry, or you made me like this way, or you've done this to me. And what I always try to say in my own house is, whenever someone's pointing the finger out, there's three fingers pointing back. Like, what are you doing in this relationship? How are you showing up? What can you be doing better? What practices are you doing in your life? Doing your practices every day, in my opinion, everyone should do, and it should be like brushing your teeth. Everybody should have a breathing practice. Everyone should have a meditative practice, a somatic practice, a toolbox, and a kit to go, okay, this is the state I'm in. What helps this state? It's that simple.
To keep you in your body. Because every time the anger, or you're not seeing your partner or the kids, every time you're doing it, because it's coming from here. It's never from in here, because when we don't spend enough time in here, and that's what them basic practices do. You know, the first thing you do when you wake up, and even when you're half asleep, you probably don't do this, but you look at your phone and you'll spend 10 minutes looking at...
Dave, I don't do that, mate.
I know you don't do that.
It's bad, that.
Absolute shite.
You shouldn't do that.
I only do it. But that's most people's cycles. And then, you know, you're watching materialistic things, or you're watching... you're just watching shite, and then that's how you start your day. And then you start your day late, because instead of spending 10 minutes, you spend 25 minutes, and then you're like, right, kids, you need to be up.
And then you're stressed. Like, we're going to be late, get ready.
Your body's just like, let's go. And the moment it opens its eyes, rather than going, right, let's spend 10 minutes to know that I can be there for me kids, I can be there for me. and things can be calm rather than and be in your body rather than spending this time in your head from the minute you wake up.
Well, I think it goes back to, we always say, oh, we haven't got time to do that,
Yeah.
but then you've wasted half an hour there scrolling.
know.
So if you had half an hour, or even 10 minutes breathing,
Yeah.
your day's instantly better, isn't it?
I listened to a thing the other day, and Tony Robbins, he'll do 3 minutes gratitude, 3 minutes prayer, and 3 minutes what he wants to achieve. And I was like, that's 9 minutes.
And it's not.
9 minutes.
And that's set the
And I'd done it
intention
for 2
for the
days,
day.
and I was like, it's all right, this. Didn't carry on.
And then stop.
Because for me, like...
It's a discipline, I think.
For me, like, you got it, obviously, when you went to Paris and stuff. For me, there's no discipline.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, when I was younger, it was like, there was no discipline from anyone else. It was like, it was just on me.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if I went out, like, I can't run home to someone who's going to help me. There's no one at home. It's me. I've got to help myself. So, but then there's certain things I choose where the discipline's good and the basic stuff not. I can go, like, what I've done, what I've created, I can create the discipline to go and get that shit. But it's the basics of me and mission. And I think I said that to you last week, like, I'm going to do one of Paul's courses next because I'm missing that basic accountability for me, but I know there's greatness to come
Do you meet the
from it.
criteria, lad?
Yeah, you haven't met the needs. Yeah, get that bit out.
But when you were saying that before, when you were going through them things, I noticed the uncomfortableness in my body when you were saying all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's
why
like,
you know you need it.
What I say to men is, like, I actually create and try and create like a system to be like, do you want to be a white belt? Do you want to be a blue belt? Do you want to be a purple belt? Do you want to be a black belt? Like, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a double black belt? And this is the system to you. I don't ask anybody to do something I don't do.
Okay.
Like, I get up every day and I do an hour and a half to 2 hours practices before I even speak to anybody.
Really?
Every single day. I'm
What
up
do you
Sunday.
do?
I do some yoga practices, some breathing practices. I've trained in, I told you, I think last time we spoke, Dave, in Sadhguru practices, which is quite intense hatha yoga. But it's been life-changing when I started doing these practices, but it's very, very intense. It can be quite dry, but definitely, you know, transformational. And I started doing that because I noticed doing too much Kundalini is bringing a lot up for me.
Yeah.
So I just reverted back to certain practices just to ground my energy a little bit. But then, I'd say at like 12 o'clock, I might do something else. So I'll have in my routine, like maybe a breathing practice at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Might have a shake, depending on my stress levels. Again, maybe at like 3, 4 o'clock, there'll be something else. And then before I go to bed, there'll be something else. Like, so all in all, I'll probably do 2.5 hours practices a day, maybe to 3 hours practices. I try and listen to certain things. I try to read 10 to 20 pages of a book every day. I do it because we're going to Slovakia in January on a men's retreat. I'm back in the fucking cold water every night.
There's a little bit of pain there with the fucking hell.
Mate, a lot of pain. Because it's cold over there, mate. It was like -7, I think. And then the water's obviously
Oh my God.
minus, is it, or whatever, mate, that it freezes are. But then when you get out, it's horrendous what we're doing. We're going like absolute warriors, mate. Like fighters, some of the lads, like Scano goes, Joff goes. Like, these are all like tough lads, mate, who are like fully accustomed to the cold water. And then you get me getting in, do you know what I mean? I'm like, that's my challenge, getting in the cold water. Like, a minute or two is enough for me. But I say it's because I'm sensitive.
That's your way out.
I'm a felt man.
It's funny because when we were arranging the podcast, I said most people come in and they'll spend an hour in the rain for a swim and the stage race. Like, whoa. I do my Kundalini in the morning. I'm not a cold person of a morning.
Really? Do you hate the
I was like, I've got him.
I don't like it. I can do it mentally, but what I was thinking is, like, I've already done it in Slovakia a couple of times. I know when my body wants to do it. Sometimes I know when it doesn't, and I know when it'll be beneficial, because the way I do see it is if I'm working hard and doing the things I'm doing and doing my practices, and then I'm doing cold water, got to be very careful not to push your nervous system outside too much, or pushing yourself into burnout, or going outside of your window of tolerance, if you like, because that can push me too far. But because I'm going to Slovakia, I haven't really got a choice.
You've
just got to get in it.
You're just training for when you're there. That's
all
what
I'm
you're
doing.
doing. You're just training so that when you get there, it's bearable. And you're creating that basic stuff, like you were saying, that discipline to say, right, I'm at A at the moment, but I know I've got to go to Z, so I've got to get in, I've got to do that work.
Yeah, and I think what I always try and say is, like, how do you want to live your life? Like, how do you want to live your life? Do you want to live like a black belt? Do you want to live a great life? Or do you want to live like a white belt or a blue belt? Because it's never been easier for men to get to where they want to get to in the terms of success and to be the man they want to be, because information's available to us. As much as it pains me to say, men have never been on the knees so much, so there's a weakness about men right now to get to where they want to get to. People lack work ethic. People are distracted so much by devices, by life, by burnout, by unhealthy vices, by drinking, by sex, by porn, whatever you want to say. Like, it's never been easier for men to go, right, let's laser focus in. Imagine where you could be and how your life would be in 2 to 3 years if you just focused.
And I've noticed a big like mental push into the testosterone to blame, almost blame that cycle a little bit of it. I don't know about you, but I've seen it. It's like, oh, you're low in testosterone, like the food you eat, it's all this. But that can also come from doing the basics. You can get that. I'm not saying you can get it back medically from doing the basics, but we're always trying to blame something else or a society or a reason. But if we go back to doing the basics, that man warrior thing can come on within.
Yeah, I mean, if we're not living in the same way where we're out there working and grinding and fighting and having to do physical stuff, then there'd be a reason why our testosterone levels would be lower if we're sitting behind the fucking keyboard all day. We're not needed to be out there in the world battling and conquering and protecting. Equally, if we're not doing certain practices and our stress levels are high, that's going to affect your testosterone levels. What's in your foods, like I do believe they're putting certain chemicals in foods that are affecting your testosterone levels. But again, if you're not ticking off a couple of boxes before you actually get to, you know, low testosterone, and it is, you know, a lot of men have got low testosterone levels, but again, we're looking for certain answers outside of ourselves. Like I've got low, like at the lower end of low testosterone because when I was younger, I was a little bit of a live wire on the steroids. You know what I mean? It was like a little bit of a thing when we were younger. Between
you went to the gym, that's what you done.
Went to the gym, trained hard, sunbeds and all that.
Sunbeds, wow.
Haircuts every week, going to the gym like 5 times a week. And not going out of the weekend.
And then the cycle on the Monday start again.
And I sort of, I went through that pattern. So that affected me from taking anabolic steroids. Probably never recovered.
Really?
Like in terms of me well-being. I feel great. I feel more energized now than I ever did when I was 21. But when I've done a blood test with Dr. Ed, who I was speaking about, they do he does like a full blood test on everything, all your hormones, and then does a one-to-one with you to go through everything. Now, everything was brilliant on mine, but he did say your testosterone is on the low end. I think it was like 11, and 9 is the low end. But they're testing you again, the normal range that they're testing you in. They're testing an 80-year-old in. But what's the average from my age?
And also, sorry, it's like, I think is it 12 to 28 is normal, but that's like,
even
so
that's
if someone's
massive,
on 12 and someone's on 28, that's not, they're classing that as normal, but that's a huge difference. So if you're walking around at 12 and someone's at 28, but they're classed as normal, that's a big scale. They've got so much more testosterone than you.
And so there's something called SHBG, which is like sex hormone binding globulin, it's called. So that's what they actually look at. So you need to, so you could have like low testosterone from a doctor, could say low testosterone, but your free testosterone is high. So you want high free testosterone because then you're able to, you know, that's basically what's active in your system. You could still have high levels of testosterone with low levels of sex hormone binding globulin, which then you would still be suffering the effects of low testosterone. But I mean, even like taking TRT, for example, like there's massive problems with when you do take TRT. Like that affects the whole balance of your whole system. If your levels of testosterone, your body will know when something exogenous is being injected into it. That will then shut down. When you have any testosterone outside, it'll shut down your natural production. You can never come off. You're on TRT for life, and some people don't know that. Like you can't go on it for a year and then come off because your levels will be lower than ever before because your own system hasn't been producing it. Plus, it can affect like estrogen levels and estrogen levels in your body, which is the female hormone. You know, you get high levels of that. Like I've suffered with that in the past when I was taking steroids because like I had a lump on my nipple, honestly. Honestly, like
really?
Common, isn't it?
A lot of bodybuilders like get these lumps under the nipples removed so they can keep injecting steroids.
Really? It's mad, that is.
So there's effects to everything, mate, but I do agree with you, like do the basics. I think everyone do the basics. TRT's absolutely got its place, but I think it shouldn't be like again a first line of therapy of people looking to get something outside of themselves to fix themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. So what's next for you? What?
What a question.
As we come to the end of the podcast, what is next in your world? Where are you going? What are you looking to achieve? And what's the plan made by pencil, not ink?
I think for me, mate, over the next 12 months certainly is to keep growing what I'm doing with Men's Inner Mastery Academy. it's not just men in Liverpool I'm looking to get to. I want to go further. I want to go into, you know, the Northwest, which I have already. And around the country, I've got a couple of lads involved from London.
Amazing.
So I'm looking to expand. I probably want to get to a point maybe where I'm trying to find out what my capacity is.
Yeah.
I think if I get to 50 or 100 men, that would be a nice place to be. But then I want to actually try to expand and have maybe other men teaching some of the stuff that I do, because I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah.
In order to grow what I'm doing and to reach other men, I want to be able to create big retreats to bring men together. I'd love to like create something one day. Our dream of mine is to have a retreat of some sort in the Echo Arena.
Yeah.
Like people doing different breathing practices, like, and getting big emotional experiences happening. And just getting big numbers of people together, men and women, like, you know, understanding more the relationship dynamics and the masculine and feminine and stuff like that. But just trying to create a big ripple effect, but starting in this city. Yeah. I also want to be able to travel more. Yeah. You know, go work online, but also travel to work with the best coaches in the world, so I can bring this information back to this city first, but back to the men that I work with, because some of these coaches are like, you know, to work with some of these top coaches, you're looking at like $9,000 for 6 months.
Lot, isn't it?
It's most people haven't got anywhere near that. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, and I think I always remember someone saying that like Liverpool, there's like an epicenter of pain. Somewhere on the like a science point of view or a geography aspect of it, the lines or something. I can't remember.
The ley lines, is it?
Yeah, and Liverpool's right bang in the middle of that. So, you know, that's huge in its own right, knowing that there's so much pain in the city anyway.
Yeah, and I think with that pain, that for me creates a big catalyst for change, you know what I mean? Because with pain becomes your purpose, doesn't it?
Well, if you look back, you know, through history, Liverpool's always been a changing point in societies. You know, you go back years, riots, or Liverpool always stands up, sometimes before the rest of the country does. And there's a reason that, but again, it gets less and less as we go through these cycles and not doing the basics, or men not doing the basics. It gets weaker and weaker and weaker. So the fact that you can, you know, travel around, get these teachings, bring them back, you know, Liverpool's going to be in a safe place. Yeah.
And I was speaking to, I don't know if you've seen Lokendra, his name is. He went over to, he was living with Sadhguru for 8 years. Wow. And we've recently like connected. He's working in a wake and he's helping Scano with the wake. But we were talking about like Liverpool. And he said like Liverpool's an intense city. Like the intensity of the people. Like there's more yogis in Liverpool than any other city in the world. He said it's such an intense and spiritual place, but Liverpool has the capacity to either light the world up or to burn it down.
Literally.
And that's what I do believe we have got that. This city has got that sort of specialness about it, that it can do incredible things if people just get out of their own way and maybe stop living in the pain and look to help and influence the world in a positive way. Just
passing the love and sharing the love and wanting to see the next person do as good as you can do. You know, that's a big thing, because I know, like when you went back before, when you were like 20 and stuff, we sort of get brought up in a way of like protect. I've got this, but no one else is having anything close to it. It's a competition. And it goes back even as far as like, you know, when you were kids, Easter, right, I've got to go and get the best clothes, or Christmas, I've got to go and get Christmas.
To impress everyone else.
And then when you'd go in, you'd meet people on holiday and they go, what, you got Christmas clothes? What's that?
And
it was always to impress, like, you know, Lacoste trackies or all stuff when we were kids. And it was always, you always had to have the best trackie or the best trainees. And if you didn't get that,
you'd feel ashamed.
You'd feel, so it's,
the true meaning of competition is like, when I've read up on it, is like to help each other grow. That's what competition is. So you've got someone who's pushing you, and you're about pushing each other to grow rather than thinking, I want to be better than him. It's like, he's doing well, I want to push on and grow as well. That's what it should be there for.
Where a lot of the time it's like, how can I hurt him to beat him?
To get rid of him.
How can I overtake him at any cost?
What advice would you give to someone that wants to make that change? So when you had that gut feeling then, so I know a lot of men want to get into this line of work, but they're feeling a bit nervous. What sort of advice would you give a man feeling like that?
I think find a men, maybe speak to men that you maybe know who have done this type of stuff. Like, because I think now you wouldn't have to look far to find a man who's interested in maybe positivity or self-development or has done some sort of work on himself. I think I would start with some simple stuff. You know, make the small changes, because people think it is this big enlightening, no sunshine, rainbows, unicorn moments. It's not. The magic is in the mundane.
Yeah.
The magic is being able to regulate yourself when something's going wrong. The magic is being able to just get up at certain times and feel energized, and being a good father, and maybe catching yourself instead of trying to fix your partner, as we can do as men. Actually being there to hold space and not try to fix them, and to hold them through whatever tears is coming up. Like there's some really just simple stuff that you can do on your own without having to maybe invest in yourself. But what I would say is the best investment you will ever make is in yourself. Your value will go up as a man the more money you invest in yourself, not in your business, not in your partner, not in your family, but in you. Whether that's time investment to reading books, listening to stuff on YouTube, you know, watching some of my stuff, coming here, spending time here, you know, find a community of people. It's cheap enough to come to a class, one class a week in here would change your life. Do you know what I mean? Because you would meet people who can have them, you can have them conversations with.
That's it, because I think once you start like immersing yourself into that, you start meeting people who are on the same wavelength, and that creates the change, doesn't it? Because your environment, you take on a lot of that, don't you? So,
and that was always the, you know, the thought process in Revival. It's like, there's a lot of people who don't want to just come in and do a breathwork, but just come to a place where it's okay to come in. A lot of people say when you walk through the door, wow, it feels so nice in here.
Yeah, and it's safe.
And it's safe. And it's like, you mightn't want to come and do a breathwork, but just come and spend time in here.
Be in the environment.
Come and do a yoga. Come and do the rainforest room. Come in for a coffee. And just be around people who are actually don't want nothing from you, and just want to see.
Just good energy.
Yeah, just create a bit of space for you. And that's what they're saying. Revival create a place to reveal where you're not free.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that thing. And we've found a lot of people like, see your people come in and just want to do Pilates, and they come in and now they're stepping into other things. And so it mightn't even be that like, I need to go and do
might not even realise.
You might not, just come, like you said, to a community where it's you know, everything's okay. Everything's allowed.
I think it's called entrainment method.
No.
Yeah, it's like
I've
a theory.
never
So it's like a tuning fork. If you strike one tuning fork and put another one next to it, like that'll vibrate at the same one as that. And that's the same thing as like what the work you're doing in here, the work I'm doing. It's like when people come into them sort of environments, it's impossible for someone to come here or to work with me and not change. It's absolutely impossible, because you will change, because your environment and the vibration of the people you're around will lift you to greater heights.
What a way to end today's podcast.
I know.
But from a personal level, mate, I'm looking forward to what the future holds. Thank you so much for coming in and all your knowledge and all the sacrifices you've made for yourself, first of all, but the sacrifices to help other people. It's an honour to have you here on our podcast.
Paul, I've loved getting to know you. It's amazing. It's so inspiring to hear your story. And thank you so much for coming in and having a chat with us.
Thank you so much, honestly, for asking me to come on as well. It's been an honour day to come on and to meet you as well. And keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks for
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you.